Hi, I'm Stefan Kingma and I'm a professional builder, and today I'm going to teach you a little bit about the differences between real hardwood floors versus engineered hardwood floors. And my sister Andrea here is going to help us teach you how to look for good flooring in a well-built home.
Are you starting or are you just practicing right now?
Yeah, well, I'm getting sick of waiting. It's go time.
I have to floss.
Okay.
So many realtors and buyers regard the flooring as a feature in the home they're viewing without understanding the difference in flooring types.
Let's take a look at solid hardwood and its nemesis, engineered hardwood.
Whoa, 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 that's not fair. Engineered hardwood can be a fantastic product. This is engineered hardwood.
Engineered hardwood is essentially plywood. Look here. The species is determined by this thin veneer on the top, not all the wood in the product. It's a very stable product with minimal movement and minimal warping.
The disadvantage is that there's glue in the product, so be aware of cheap products, especially those containing formaldehyde in the glue. And be aware of very thin veneers on the top layer, as they will be less durable and cannot be refinished. Typically, an engineered floor can be refinished at least once, maybe twice. Solid hardwood floors can be refinished multiple times. It's not uncommon to see homes 100 years old with the original hardwood still intact.
Real hardwood tends to not be quite as stable, so you're going to have some seasonal movements, especially in humid climates. Typically, solid hardwood will have more imperfections, but you can decide if that's a good or a bad thing. Another nice thing about real hardwood floors is that they're solid wood all the way through, so they tend to be more durable. There's two ways to finish a hardwood floor. One is a factory finish, which is done in the factory before it's delivered to site, and the other is to install the floor as raw material first and then finish the floor once it's on site, so that you get a nice uniform finish with no joint lines. This is an engineered hardwood. It has a thicker veneer, so it'll be able to be refinished, but it'll be a lot of work. The thicker that veneer, the more times it can be refinished. This is an engineered product as well, with a much thinner veneer, so I'd get a professional opinion on whether or not you want to try refinishing that. This is solid hardwood, but it's a raw material, and it can be refinished easily multiple times. This is a factory finished or pre-finished product. The first time it's refinished, it'll be a lot of work, but after that it can be refinished multiple times easily.
If you love the house, it might be time to pull up a vent. As the old adage goes, good realtors pull up vents. Pulling up a vent will help you learn a lot about the floor. When I pull this up, I can see that they used engineered hardwood and it has a thinner veneer. This will also show you if the floor was glued down or if it's floating. This is a membrane called an underlay, and that's used to install a floating floor.
Floating a floor is simple, fast, and it still offers good long-term durability, but gluing it down will give it a much more solid feel. A big disadvantage, though, to gluing a floor down is that it's really, really hard to replace. At Monarch Developments, we opt to float our floors because we've had clients that have walked into houses before and said, well, we like the house, but we want a different floor. So if it's floated, we can just pull it up and replace it with a new floor. We've also had complaints that we don't glue our floors. So you can see it's not always an easy decision unless you're really certain about your decision. Whether or not your flooring is a good quality engineered or real hardwood floor, or whether it's floating or glued down, those aren't really deal breakers, although they're important.
Today on Well Built Home, we're going to take a look at the difference between vinyl plank and laminate flooring.
We'd like to thank Dwayne from Vandercraft Construction and his clients for allowing us to take a look at the flooring in their home.
Stefan is holding laminate flooring. I'm holding vinyl plank flooring. I didn't realize vinyl plank flooring was so bendy.
Yeah, it is, but before we get into that, thousands of our viewers have been asking us to tell you a little bit more about ourselves.
Well, I'm Andrea Bravo, and I'm a realtor in the Fraser Valley, and I'm a number 7 on the Enneagram.
And I'm Stephen Kingma, and I'm a professional builder in the Fraser Valley. And I don't know what the Enneagram is because I don't really have time for that, like a realtor. But if you think you know, leave a comment below.
This is laminate flooring. It's compressed wood similar to MDF, but with a very hard surface applied. It's typically installed floating. If you don't know what that is, watch some of our previous episodes to find out.
Some of the pros to laminate is that it's inexpensive, it goes in quickly and easily, and the surface is very hard so it doesn't dent or scratch easily. Some of the cons to laminate flooring are that it's prone to moisture damage, it must be floated so it can't be glued down, you need to ensure that matching transition strips and nosings are available, fixtures can't be screwed through the floor, and the tongue and groove slot can snap if there's movement in the subfloor.
This house by Vandercraft Construction was great, but often when you're walking through a home, the floor was either installed by an inexperienced tradesperson or by the clients themselves. And here's some warning signs that you can watch for. Check for movement in the floor that could lead to cracked tongue and grooves. Listen for louder pops and cracks. You shouldn't be able to see the ends of any boards. Watch for gaps near baseboards and cabinets. Cabinets and finishings shouldn't be screwed through a laminate floor. Check the transitions from room to room.
Vinyl plank is a bit more of an expensive product than laminate, and it typically requires a plywood underlay. It's made from PVC, and it's generally manufactured to mimic wood. In many cases, vinyl plank will outperform even wood because essentially it's waterproof. But unfortunately, it's maintained its reputation for being slightly lower end than wood. And so the pros for vinyl plank are that it's very durable, it's water resistant so it can be used in bathrooms and front entries, it can be glued down, and it's flexible so it'll contour to any imperfections in the floor. Some of the cons are that it's colder than laminate when it's installed on concrete. It'll probably need a plywood underlay, but check the manufacturer's instructions. And again, unfortunately, it tends to not add resale value to the home like a hardwood floor or an engineered hardwood floor does.
When you're walking through a home, here's some ways you can check to see that your vinyl plank was installed properly. Make sure that there are no gaps in your flooring. Make sure that there are no bumps under the flooring. Check transitions from room to room. And make sure that there are no gaps between the butt joints. As we discussed in hardwood and engineered flooring, a great way to check the flooring in the home is to pull up a vent.
So you can see here that this is strip vinyl plank and it's sitting on 3/8 U-lay or subfloor.
An important aspect to investigate when you're shopping for a newer home is who supplied the materials and who installed the flooring.
It's much better to have the materials supplier also do the install because the supplier will be way more diligent in finding an experienced installer.
Too often, builders order all of their flooring from different suppliers and then have a general tradesperson install the flooring.
The problem with this is that it can cause problems and conflict during potential warranty claims where neither party is willing to take any responsibility for the problem.
You will also want to make sure that the flooring was not ordered from a country where the formaldehyde levels aren't regulated.
So whether the flooring is vinyl plank or laminate isn't going to make a big difference to the value of a home, but it's important to know the difference depending on how you're planning on using a floor.
If you have a toddler, laminate might be the better option because it has some give to it. If you have an irritating brother, vinyl plank might be the better option because it's durable.
Hey.
Seriously?
We just want you to know what to look for. Because as my grandpappy used to say, you only get what you pay for if you get what to look for.
We didn't call him grandpappy and never ever said that.
Shh, this is Hollywood. We're going to be walking through a home built by Vandercraft Construction, another good local builder. Yeah, no, that didn't work. This is how it goes.
Yeah, just so you know. This is going to take us a long time.
This takes a long time.
Today on Well Built Home, we're going to take a look at the difference between vinyl plank and laminate flooring.
One more time. Laminate flooring. Come on, Andrea, you're in the shot.
Sorry. Like a little piece. Oh. If you have an irritating brother, vinyl plank might be the better option. It's durable. But I'm looking at you, right?
Sure.
Okay. You're so high up. It's like
Solid hardwood is really great. You just do it again.
it's easy for you to say. You're filming.
You don't have to say anything.
All your opinions.
Just push buttons.
Professional pointer. It's time for Stefan to start getting manicures.
If you want to know a little bit, this isn't going well.
No. So many realtors and buyers see the floor as a feature in the home they're viewing.
I'm not going to say my line because I didn't like the way that came across. You said the words.
Yeah, I was like, I nailed it.
But it was like so many realtors. It almost sounded like, yeah, you know what I mean, I think, right?
No, I totally get it. It's fine.
Yeah. Don't be angry.